Roz Kelly played Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. Now she's fighting for her life and she's blaming her breast implants. Actress Rhonda Shear says she has a better life because of her breast implants.
Order! All rise. Order! Your Honor, this is number 93 on the calendar in the matter of Steinberger versus Birnbaum. You may be seated.
Well, this isn't a case, this is a debate.
That's correct.
Federal court has recently ordered the settlement of lengthy litigation, $4.2 billion against the manufacturers of silicone breast implants. So I'd like to start out with the ladies first. Why did you choose to have this surgery?
I had been in everything from the Allen Pussycat, Barbra Streisand, 70s. I became very famous as Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. And if I may show this.
Beautiful.
Nice. I call it BT before, well, never mind. And,
I'm sure you had before, but you wanted more after.
What I got after was I am totally unreliable because of my extreme fibromyalgia, which has me at times, feels like there's steel rods. I'm cold all the time. I turn blue. My voice drops. My commercial agent cannot send me out anymore. I'm not reliable from day to day because of this silicone poisoning in my body.
Why did you decide to have the surgery? My question, let me explain to you where I'm going with this debate.
Yeah.
So that you gentlemen will understand. I don't like to take anyone by surprise. I am certain that you have been in many forums discussing whether silicone breast implants cause the kind of damage that has resulted in these lawsuits. You've talked about that before, sir?
Many times.
You've talked about that before, sir?
Yes, I have.
With the limited medical expertise that I have available to me today, I am not going to make a judgment as to whether or not silicone breast implants cause injury. That's not the subject of this debate. I want to know why you chose to have them in the first place. Okay? Because that, to me, could be a valuable tool of information to millions of people, and maybe we can reach some sort of a resolve.
I think there's a very strong message here that men should not. I had done Pinky, and I was living with a Yutz, which is twice like a putz.
I know a Yutz. I mean, I don't know. I know several, not intimately, but I know what a Yutz is.
Now, this guy and I shack up. He moves in with his prized possession, I find, which is like every issue of Playboy magazine since it was put out. And somehow, even though I'm become this star, you know, and I come home, he's like sitting there looking through these magazines, not only the old ones, but new ones he gets every month. And it's a very, very bad message that men give their women, that they bring home these girly magazines, because somehow I had it all down, even when I went to wardrobe and they started hiking for my ankles, and then the eyeshadow and the wires, and, you know, I was like Peter Pan by the time they got done with me. And, you know, right now I'm waiting for the genetically grown tomatoes. You know, that's about, because the doctor took them out, said, what do you want me to put in?
So you're telling me that you had this surgery because you felt that you weren't attractive enough to this Yutz?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you?
I would never have any surgery. I wouldn't do anything for a guy.
So why did you do it?
I did it for me.
Tell me why. You needed to do it for you.
I didn't need to do it. As a matter of fact, I'm a hypochondriac. I'm scared of everything, including taking aspirins. So surgery wasn't a thrilling thing for me. I did it because of my own self-esteem. I didn't like the way that I looked in certain clothes. Just for my own self-confidence.
Let's talk about that.
And wait, I'm really good with pushing up, too. So I was really good before. I was in Miss Louisiana with the old ones. I call them the girls, by the way.
This year, I'm going to stick with you for a minute.
Okay. Because we don't know what's under your roof.
Listen to me. Why don't you gentlemen sit down?
You want us to sit down?
Sit down. I don't need you right now.
Judge Judy returns in a moment. Roz Kelly played Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. Now she's fighting for her life and she's blaming her breast implants. Actress Rhonda Shear says she has a better life because of her breast implants.
When I was reading over these papers, I said to myself, I don't know much about medicine. But I grew up. We did. Us girls grew up. I have daughters. I say, why is it that women feel the need, either because of some Yutz or because of self-esteem, to have big breasts? Now, you said, the first thing that you said, I did it for my own self-esteem. What was wrong with your self-esteem?
Actually, it was my self-esteem because I had won all these contests.
Be very, listen to me, be very Honest
Oh, I am.
with me.
I'm going to be very specific.
Honest.
Very honest and very specific. It wasn't even the self-esteem because, as I said, I was Miss Louisiana. I did all these things before I ever got to Hollywood. And I knew how to push. And when you're from Miss Louisiana, when you're a Miss Louisiana, they teach you these things in contests. You know all the tricks. So I already knew how to make things look better. So yes, of course, the girls in class might have been bigger, but I developed early, so I had breast. I just didn't like, are you ready for this? Okay. A little vain. I didn't like the shape of them. I didn't like the way that they looked in certain outfits. I was a C cup. I was not a small person by any means. I don't think that anybody would have been dissatisfied. I wouldn't care anyway. I did it because I just didn't like the shape, the way that they looked in clothes. A lot of things that women were wearing, outfits where you went braless, and I went, I just didn't like the way it looked. So a little vanity in there, but to go along with that, surgery is a major, major step. So, and not only, I did such major research, like maybe 10 doctors, and then I backed out because I was petrified of the surgery. So it took a long time. So it wasn't about a job or Hollywood or anything, because I've never lost a job because or not having.
What else do you have going for you other than a great body?
I'm funny.
Okay.
Maybe not now, but I am.
Okay. I'm asking you these things for, was not an unkind question.
No.
You know.
This is good because I am looking for a husband today, and maybe someone's watching. Well, this is a perfect forum for me to say that. But not because of the breast. Let me just tell you.
This could be the largest personal ad you'd ever want to take out. Did you have the thought before the Yutz was looking at Playboy that you were dissatisfied with the way you looked?
No, I was really all right. I was all right. And as far as cup size, with no cup. My cup did not run over. It didn't fill up.
Listen to me. I understand that.
Yeah, no. I did have a habit since I was a kid of wearing shirts with 2 pockets and like putting a lot of stuff in them. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
And well, even in high school, the kids would tease me, and I would hear the jokes. Carpenter's dream, flat as a board. All that pirate's dream, sunken chest. And, it would bother me. It would really bother me. But, and even to this day, I still, look at this, 2 pockets, see? I mean, old habits die hard.
Right.
I'm hoping I'm not one of them. And so I had them out 4 years ago, and I still wanted to put something in. I said, what do you want? I said, nothing, honey. And that was it.
Remember when you were growing up?
God, do I have to?
Yeah, I remember. Try to remember when you were
I
growing
just
up.
remember them guys. They're trying to find them. That's why I started making cracky jokes.
Let's think about when you were really little, when you were like 4 and 5 years old. What was your experience as a kid?
I was abandoned by my father when I was pushing 10. I was also molested a lot, and
That doesn't give you a good feeling about yourself.
No, I think that's when it started. And then when I got into my teens and they didn't grow in, somehow I never told this to Jeffrey, and I never spoke about this, but it just kind of didn't surprise me that they didn't, they were scared. It's like they were scared to grow. Mm-hmm. And, geez, where'd that come from? It came from, that happened.
It came from the truth. It came
he
from
went
your
out
heart.
for cigarettes,
Came from
and
your heart.
I hope he died of lung cancer somewhere. I never found them, And, and I mean, 40 years ago, they weren't doing movies of the week about that kind of stuff.
Judge Judy will be right back.
No woman should have this surgery because she feels inadequate
agree.
because of a man. That's stupid.
That is
You would
stupid.
agree with that?
Roz Kelly played Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. Now she's fighting for her life, and she's blaming her breast implants. Actress Rhonda Shear says she has a better life because of her breast implants.
Why women, intelligent women who know the risks of going under general anesthesia to have any kind of necessary surgery, would risk just the process of going under general anesthesia, have a surgical procedure done that sometimes involves scarring, sometimes you don't heal right, sometimes, you've heard the stories, I'm sure you did your research about these breast
Major.
implants, so you know the problems. So why would a woman risk that to give herself bigger boobs? I understand why you did it. You just told me why you did it. You told me why you did it. Ultimately, it was because of yachts.
Yes.
But the beginning part of your life, put you in a position where you were vulnerable enough so that somebody else could influence you to assault your body the way you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first doctor said to me, he said, I'd have it done if I were you. The second guy said, don't worry, honey, they'll last a lifetime. Will I?
You know, my grandmother used to say, the line that I love. Remember this line, Bert? Beauty fades, dumb is forever. I want you to think about that. Beauty fades, dumb is forever. When you grow up, I was lucky. I grew up with a father who made me feel that if I had a mole in the middle of my forehead, everybody should have a mole because it's gorgeous. And if, when I was a teenager and I was chubby and I had a big behind, he used to say to me, he used to chuckle and say to me, you ought to sue the city for building the sidewalk too close to your behind. But he said to me, but you have a mind and a wit that's extraordinary. And he would concentrate on the positive thing. I have 2 daughters.
Right.
And I learned from my own upbringing that you have to concentrate on the positive of whatever kids, you know, whatever your kids' strengths are. So what I'm hoping to get out of this little discussion with you 2 people, and you forgive me, this is really a woman's issue, so we don't need you guys. Because we're not talking about whether breast implants are good or bad or whether they are dangerous or not dangerous. I want to find out why women do it, and hopefully people out there who are going to watch this case are going to say, I got to start with my daughter when she's 3 or 4 to make her love herself the way she is so that she's not going to need to have big breasts because some yutz is looking at a magazine to make her feel good, or because you want just a perfect shape because the public demands that you be perfect in your business, that you have so much more to offer rather than assaulting your body with any surgical procedure.
Well, that's true.
So, you know, if you grow up feeling that way about yourself, you don't need it. But let's assume you're going to do it. You said you did research. Did you do research?
Nah, really?
You just went in and did it.
Yeah.
And when you did your research, did you find anyone who said to you this is dangerous business?
I found people who say, you know, you're okay. You know, it's not like, you know, you have to do this. It's something that that you're doing for yourself. And they all asked me. I went to really good doctors that other people had gone to. You know, I found out if there was any malpractices against these guys. I mean, I really did my research on the doctors. And then when I got into the doctor's offices, I asked about the implants. And they held up a point, this implant and another implant or whatever at the time, because they're having their 10th anniversary this month. So they're 10 years old and the girls are doing fine. And I just want you to know that, and I feel fine about them and myself. And I didn't feel like I assaulted my body, and if I chose to do anything else later in life, I wouldn't feel like I was assaulting again. Yes, anesthesia is scary, but I just want to get this in. I don't think there's anything the matter with plastic surgery in general. I think that one has, and you're on television now, and you have to be careful because all these plastic surgeons may not want to do you after this conversation if you keep putting down plastic surgery. But no, seriously,
No, I'm not. I'm not really. And I want you to understand that. I'm not putting it down. I'm saying that you have to feel wonderful about yourself from the beginning part of your life. If you're deprived of that from the very beginning, you are far more vulnerable to make the kind of choices that may be wrong. She made the wrong choice for her because she was vulnerable because of what happened when she was a kid. Because if it didn't happen and she had the same kind of good feeling that you have about yourself, she would have walked into the room, seen the putz or yutz or whatever he was, reading the magazine and said, you take the magazines, take a hike because it's irritating to me, or just felt nothing and say, oh, another idiot sitting here and looking at naked women. Right? But it made her feel badly. It made her feel inadequate. Right. Inadequate, so she did it. No woman should have this surgery because she feels inadequate because of a man. That's stupid.
That is
you would agree with that?
I would agree with that.
All right, 100%. So then we've taken care of, I hope, a third of the women out there who will say, I'm not going to have surgery because I want men to look at me. You had it, you tell me, for the right reason.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
Discussion with the two of you, and you were both wonderful because you came from very different perspectives. You should never have any surgical procedure done, elective surgical procedure done for any other reason than you have to have it because you have a great feeling about yourself, but you want to be better, you want to be more exciting for yourself, never for anybody else. And the only way we can deal with this problem here is to start very early, teaching our kids that each one of them has a uniqueness that they have to concentrate on, that they're special. Whether if they're not pretty, maybe they're great athletes, maybe they have a musical ability, something else. But not everybody can have big boobs, a great face, long legs, and be 5'6". Not everybody can be that, but everybody has a special ability. And you can't start telling that to somebody when they're 25. You got to start when they're 2 or 3 or 4. But once you've decided that you want to have this kind of surgery done, and you're coming from a reasonable perspective of why you want to have it done, you have to make informed judgments. And in order to do that, you don't just walk into somebody's office and say, give me breasts. You say, I want to speak to people. I want recommendations. I want to interview many people. I want to know what you're going to do to me. What's inside of me? What is the history of this device that you're going to put inside me? I want to do some reading about it. And until women do that, they're going to continue to be victims. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
the parties are excused. Step out, please.
If you're going to have any elective surgery, it's just my feelings, then just research, find out who the doctor is, see a bunch of doctors, and talk to friends, read articles. That's just my opinion on anything, because I just have visited underwear, have those guys out. That's my opinion on that. Yes, I've been lucky, but I also have an allergy to my contact lens. So your body, though, can have an allergy to a lot of things, and I don't know if it's 100% proven
Step forward, please.
James Day says he put up some money for Kathleen Pryor to make a commission in a property deal. She didn't have to pay him back as long as they were dating. They split.
Mr. Day, you allege in your papers that Miss Pryor owes you about $4,500, $3,100 of which was for some convoluted business deal that I, quite frankly, couldn't understand from your papers. And you're going to tell me about what the rest is for. She says that you dated for a long time. Whatever money that you gave her were gifts while you were together. You didn't ask her for the money back until when?
We broke up.
Okay. So, let's hear about these loans.
Sure. Actually, I have some checks, canceled checks, of which it says loan on the bottom of the checks as a memo.
Let's start from the beginning.
Canceled checks. What the situation was, Your Honor, was that Ms. Pryor was in severe financial trouble to the extent that her landlord was talking about evicting her. Her car payment was not being...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Her car payment was not being paid, and she was a couple months behind on it, and she was very scared that it was going to be repossessed. And
Were you dating at the time?
Actually, we were not at that point in time. We had gone out on one...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
We had gone out on one date. We had gone to a basketball game, and we'd been friends for quite a while.
How long is quite a while?
Over a year. Over a year. And after the basketball game, you know, there was a situation that occurred, but it certainly was not a dating situation. And she came to me and asked for money because she was in a very bad state. And I said, not a problem. I'll lend you, you know, I will not give you money, but I will pay bills that need to be paid to get you out of the situation.
So what did you pay for her?
Well, I actually wrote a check to, actually it was for cash because she didn't want to make it out to the landlord, but it says on the bottom of the check that it was for that purpose, which was $700.
Do you have that check?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
And then the second one, Your Honor, was a $345 check that closed out a bank account of hers that was, the way she described it, continuing to accrue bounce check fees because she had written a lot of small checks on this account. So every time a check cleared, there was an $18 fee that was posted to the account. So it was kind of a situation where if it wasn't closed out, then there were fees that were going to continue to accrue on this. So, you know, I felt that, you know, that's fine. I understand $1,000 was not a big deal, and I knew that she had the capacity to pay that back.
Okay.
Going forward, after that money was paid, she wanted me to look into a business transaction of hers, of which she was supposed to get paid $3,120 once the deal was consummated.
What kind of a deal?
Well, essentially, she was buying a property under a straw name, and in order to do that, she was getting paid 2% of the loan value, which was $6,120, of which Mr. Shetty fronted her the first $3,000, which is half of the deal. And
See why I couldn't understand it?
I'm sorry?
See why I couldn't understand it? Is this your business?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
But you understood this right away.
I understood the property transaction. It was very cut and dry, very simple.
Not to me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
All right. She was going to lend somebody money.
No, not one bit. What was happening was they were buying a property in her name. Satish and Kathleen were buying a property in Kathleen's name. And Satish buys distressed real estate. He fixes it up and then resells it for a profit.
So why was he buying it in her name?
Well, when you do 40 or 50 or 60 transactions at a time, you can't put them all in your name.
We
therefore
do it jointly with people who would like to do business with us. And she wanted to do business with me, and she said, we'll do it.
Okay. And then she was going to get $3,120
Right.
back as a commission.
No,
Correct.
6,120.
Right, of which the first 3,000 was fronted to her, and I was given Satish's word that he would front that money back to me once it was paid, and I would loan her money against that $3,120. So, you know, that's where you come up with the amount of approximately $4,000.
So what happened with this $3,120?
He never paid.
She did not. She took the property and kept with her.
What happened?
Actually, what happened was Kathleen had agreed to sign over the property to Satish, and at that
So I
point,
could sell it.
Why don't you step up here so we...
at that point, he
I
was
need
gonna
you, you're there.
At that point, he was going to write a check to me for the $3,120,
Okay.
which he
so,
did.
All right. So then now the property is in her name.
Yes.
And she's supposed to sign it over to you.
Right.
Or sell it.
Or
Together.
sell it to you.
Right. At that point, I was
And
to
then
receive
she...
the funds. Right.
And you advanced her the funds.
Money against this transaction. Correct.
So what happened?
Well, Satish wrote the check as he said he would, and Kathleen backed out of the deal 2 days after the check was written, thinking that Satish was stuck and he was going to get stuck on the money. Well, Satish just put a stop payment on the check because they normally don't clear for 5 or 6 days, and the money was taken back out of my account. So I was standing there in the middle of their transaction where I had been the nice guy lending her money because she needed it to pay bills, which every check
Well,
that
why did you back out of this deal?
I didn't, Your Honor.
Where is the property? Who owns the property?
To tell you the truth, yeah.
Tell me the truth. Of course you're going to tell me the truth.
Well, no.
Who owns the
Of
property?
course, I do.
Well, that wasn't the arrangement.
Well, I'm trying to sign it back over to him right now, but he hasn't paid the money he owes me. My attorney's working on it right now.
Just a second. You were supposed to...
That's not true.
Yeah, that's true. The right word they used was necessarily. That was probably right. But meanwhile, he got stuck in the middle. He
Well-
advanced this $3,120, didn't he?
He agreed that...
Did he or did he not?
He did.
And so he advanced the
now these two
$3,000...
are-
Just a
I'm sorry,
second.
no.
He advanced the
Sorry, no.
$3,120. He's out $3,120, and you've got the property. All right, let's get to the $700 in cash. You say that these were not
He kept
loans.
saying when we were dating, oh, you really don't have to worry about paying me back, as long as we're still dating, this and that, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it.
So?
And so then all of a sudden I said we weren't going to see each other anymore, and he's like, oh, well, now all of a sudden he slaps a lawsuit on me.
Listen to me. Miss Pryor, you said the operative word. Just a minute, I'm finished with you. Sit down.
Okay.
Good. You said the operative word. Even according to your own statement. Let me read it back to you because
Okay.
I have a photographic mind.
Sure, thank you.
You said that he told you, as long as you're dating, you don't have to pay the money back to me. That's what you just told me.
So we're not dating anymore.
So you're not dating anymore.
I see.
Right?
That's true.
So that's not a problem. That doesn't seem to be a problem. Listen, you're one of the few people that I've had in court in the last 6 months who, when they give money to a boyfriend or a girlfriend, is smart enough to put on the check loan. Listen out there, all you boyfriends and girlfriends. Loan on the check is a good thing. Give this back to him. Miss Pryor, you have to do the right thing. You owe him this money. It appears to me that he advanced it in good faith because you were either friends or you were romantically involved. Whatever it was, he was being a nice guy. If you're no longer romantically involved, you have to do the honorable thing. You have to do the honorable thing whether you're a guy or whether you're a gal. And the honorable thing is to pay him. And you owe him $4,165 judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you, that's all.
Please excuse you, may step out.
Judge Judy will return in a moment.
Versus Park.
Felicia Anderson says she was shopping in E Park's store when he accused her of shoplifting. Now she wants him to pay the bill.
Order, all rise. Judge number 11 on the calendar in the matter of Anderson versus Park.
Are those new glasses?
Yes, Judge.
I like them.
Thank you.
Age gets to you, Bird.
Sure does, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
Miss Anderson, according to your complaint, you went clothes shopping at the defendant's store, and you were wrongfully accused of stealing from the store, detained,
Yes.
and minorly assaulted.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened, please?
Well, I went into the store. I tried on like 9 to 10 items, and the sales lady, I think it was his daughter, she said that I could only take 5 items in. So I went to the back and I tried on a skirt. It fit too tight. So when I came out from the fitting room, he was standing on top of a folding chair. And I came out and I went to go get the skirt that I had on, and I saw another.
In another size.
Yeah, in another size. And I saw another skirt that I was interested in. So I had both. I had 2 skirts, and I had one in each hand. And I was walking towards the fitting room with both of the skirts in my hand. And he was standing on the chair, and he, he tried to grab a skirt out of my hand, and I snatched it back. And I told him,
Did he say anything to you when he did that?
well, he said, you can't take both of these skirts inside the fitting room. And so it was.
So let's stop there a second. So that you had 4 items already in the fitting room. You were allowed to take 5 in, correct?
Yes.
But you were wearing 1.
Yes.
So you went outside and you brought in 2 more.
Yes.
You wanted to
Well,
bring in
I
2
never
more,
made- yeah.
which would have given you 7 in the fitting room. Is that right?
Well, I wasn't going to
that
bring.
right?
Yes.
So he stopped you to try to get the 2 items that you were holding because you already had the maximum number of items in the fitting room.
Yes.
Okay. Proceed.
And then he tried to snatch the skirt out of my hand. He told me that I couldn't go in with both the skirts, which I had already known because I was going to leave one on the rack. It was a rack to my right. So when I went to go approach the rack to hang the skirt up, the skirt dropped to the floor. And I was walking, back in the fitting room. I didn't know the skirt had dropped to the floor. And he screamed at the top of his lungs, "You come pick up the skirt. Come get the skirt right now. come pick up the skirt. I mean, come pick up the skirt. So by this time, I figured, I don't have to take this treatment. I come to shop, so I put on my clothes, and I left out the fitting room, and he was still standing on top of the folding chair. And the way the store was made, it was like a little pathway to the entrance of the store, and it was a big glass door. He raced around me like he was in a racetrack and stood in front of the door like this. You're not going anywhere. I mean, where do you think you're going? You put those clothes back right now. I mean, put them back. And he was telling the sales lady, count the clothes, count the clothes. I mean, you're not going anywhere. And he's standing, bogarting the door, and I can't even get through.
All right, so he's now in front of the door with his hands folded, and what happened next?
He's screaming and hollering at me, put the clothes back. I mean, put the clothes back. Put the clothes back. And he had blew his lid by this time. He's not letting me go. And this is the purse I had. And I opened it up and I said, is this what you're worried about? Are you worried about me, taking any clothing out of the store? And I opened the purse so he could look at the purse. And he's playing tug of war with my purse. This is before I opened my purse. He grabbed my purse and I grabbed it back.
Oh, just a second. You mean
before
he put his hand on your purse?
Yes. Yes. Before I opened my purse, he grabbed my purse. I grabbed it back. We were playing tug of war over my purse.
And how did you finally end up leaving the store?
So by this time when I did open my purse, he was still in front of the doorway. He would not let me leave. And I told him I was going to call 911 because that was my first time in the store. I looked back at the counter. I didn't know where the phone was because I was going to use his phone because he would not let me go. At this point, I was scared. So I went and looked for the phone. I couldn't find a phone. So when I came back, he was still at the doorway. And then he finally let me go out and let me leave. And then there was a phone booth right in front of the store. So that's when I called 911. And the police came.
Mr. Park?
Yes.
You have a clothing store?
Yes.
You did, in fact, have an incident with Miss Anderson in your store. I want you to tell me your version of that incident, sir.
I don't understand. Just I'm asking her, and then she started mad. She started mad and used the bat.
Did you tell her did you drop a skirt on the floor?
No.
Well, why did you stand in front of the door and not let her out?
When she coming out, it's a return to the clothes, what they, the already trying on. But she didn't bring it out, just to walk out. So I say, where are my clothes? It's bring it out, return. And she say, I don't care, you going in. But I couldn't go in. It's a woman's store, so the woman inside. So I couldn't getting in. So I say, hey, please bring it out that. And then she say, I don't care, I walk out. So I say, keep following to bring it out that clothes back. But she say, no.
So so she wasn't going to go in the back and pick up the clothing and bring them outside. Why did you block her entrance, sir? And why did you hold on to her bag?
No, I didn't hold it. And then I keep following her to asking to bring the return of my clothes. And she said, I'm not shoplifting. Look at it. And she showed me the bag. And then she closed herself. I didn't touch her anything. I didn't touch her bag anything.
Are you telling me that you didn't stand in front of the door?
No.
You didn't stand in front of the door, sir?
I'll follow her.
Follow her means that you were behind her. Are you telling me, Mr. Park, that there came a time when you just let her walk out of the store?
Yeah, I follow and sometimes I'm in front of her.
Well, that's not following her. Following her is behind her. So now you're in front of her. I mean, this isn't a very big store, so it didn't take you very long. There came a time then that you were standing in front of the door. And she was looking at you. Your back was towards the door. Does that sound familiar to you, Mr. Park?
Well, I'm asking her to, return my clothes.
She doesn't have to return your clothes, even